Hey guys, so I'm going to start a series called The Late Review, and it's me catching up with all of the other games that have come out before the birth of interest in this channel, so prepare for a lot to go inside this category. And without further ado, let the first review in this category begin with it being LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I've been wanting to play this game for a long time, and to be in line with what Glenn has said in past videos, I was able to play it with Xbox Game Pass, which is really convenient. So if they could just sponsor us please, that'd be grand. Thanks in advance. So I've heard a lot of mixed reviews for this game, but I'm going to try and make my own opinions for it. The first thing that I've noticed that they have changed from more recent LEGO games is that they have recorded all new dialogue for this game, which is about time. Stealing lines from the film was just cheap and irritating. This way the gameplay is a lot smoother when you come across funny little dialogue lines like Darth Vader saying he's the captain and to give the Empire a warm welcome.
This is your old captain. Once again, please give the Empire a warm welcome.
The voice acting is very good, and they have mixed this well with the silliness of the LEGO genre, and it balances out very nicely. I'm trying to keep the classic LEGO games from my mind, as this is definitely a new breed all on its own. The classic games were simpler because they could be. Audiences back then for the age range that they were designed for were much more forgiving, but I think they have realised that their fans have grown up, and need to have gameplay and mechanics both simple for the age range they're still aimed at, but also realise that they need to keep their older customers happy as well. Something that isn't completely new is the camera. You can move it about and see the environment for what it is, which is good for the nicer scenery and helps you see those sneaky little hidden items. There are also arrows to show you where to go. I'll admit, compared to earlier games, this is a much easier way to get around. There were times back in the day where you'd be like, where do I go now? So this is a nice added touch. Oh my god, and there is a mini-map. I didn't even realise this. Okay, this game is looking up so far. One thing they have added is health bars and the fact that armour drops off enemies every now and then. I like this aspect with the armour, but the health bar is a little hit and miss with me. Yes, it adds more challenge to the fighting situations at the time, but I think it's the old LEGO Star Wars games within me that are having a hard time adapting to this mechanic. Another thing that they have added is more than one way of attacking with your hands. This is cool, except for I don't like how the jump button can mix between a jump button and an attack button depending on the situation. I don't know, in my opinion, in these types of games, a button should just be a button. I don't know, it's dumb and irrational, okay, leave me alone. But the one thing I do like, because I love it in all games, is the parry button, which is the Y button on controller if you're playing it on one. I love this in all games because it makes life easier and makes you feel more of a badass. Okay, at this point I'm still in the first level of the game, but oh my god, there is so much to unpack here. So the menu is more complicated but also more useful. In past games, studs have only been meant to buy characters and other related things. But in this game you can buy upgrades with them, which is a thing that they should have thought of a lot sooner. I'm already a stud collector and break what I can to collect studs, but this gives me purpose as I am very much a person that wants to collect all of the upgrades for my characters in games, so now I am very excited. To go back briefly about the maps, they're a little bit more complicated. I know you need to unlock more characters to get to certain places, which is fine and normal for LEGO games, but when I'm going through levels and the maps are actually all one big cohesive thing, which is usually good in a game, it makes the levels in this game a little bit confusing. I'll probably get used to it, but at first it is a little bit disorientating, and as a side note, Fog of War is pretty cool. Ooh, this just got interesting. This is a small but a big thing. There are so many old mechanics that they have rethought in this game, and it never occurred to me that they could be used in a different way. Like for example, you can now choose where something gets built. This allows different constructible things in-game to have different uses, which is really cool. Wait. I'm sorry. Did the studs just hibernate in a cutscene? In every other game, the studs have disappeared when you have broken something and a cutscene happens, and they usually just disappear. There is a dev god. Okay, so this game is just a good game. I'm waiting for bad things to review and nothing has happened. It's like they actually looked at all of the feedback they have had over all of the years of LEGO games and have actually listened. Like for example, when you're R2-D2 you can actually hack the consoles. It's very basic mind, but it's still cool that it's a thing. And when you're C-3PO you can hack a console and take control of machines that I assume you can unlock more of as the game progresses. This game is everything that I would have wanted past LEGO games to be. Can you imagine these mechanics in the first LEGO Star Wars game? My childhood would have been a lot more of me being in my room playing on the PlayStation 2. Not that it wasn't. Going from level to level is seamless. When you finish the first one, you go on to what you think is the next level, but it's actually the open world, but it's also a level. This game is so well thought out that it knows how to make the missions and open world levels more efficiently. Like, how? Nah, I'm annoyed this has come out now because I want this for when I was a kid. So as I have just said, there are missions within the open world that you can do. This is a good thing and kind of a bad thing, but not really a bad thing, as the game is clearly huge. The open world is a little bit distracting when you're on a mission. You want to explore on the first time playing the game, but you want to also play the mission at the same time. Worst comes to worst, you just go back like you would after the first time playing a level when you unlock more characters, but this is just me nitpicking. Furthermore, with regards to more info on the mechanic on when you hack as a droid, now with Jedi mind tricks you can control the lesser minded troopers. I'm not sure if the Jedi mind trick was even a thing in other games, and if it was, all it probably did was confuse them for a few seconds. I just find more and more things about this game that make it absolutely amazing. I wish I found the time to play this game when it first came out, and if you haven't already wanted to pick this game up by this point, then you definitely need to. While playing the game, I have now realised that Jedis are actually more fun to play. In other ones, I feel like they made them a little bit more down to earth and less OP basically. But in this game, like I've been saying this entire time, they have listened to their customers. Jedis are these people who are OP in certain situations, and I say certain situations as they got wiped out by a bunch of clones, but then a couple of them were fine in an arena against battle droids and stuff, so you win and you lose some, I guess. But basically they're fun to play now. Further down the line you get introduced to boss battles in certain situations in the films that seem decent enough for them to be mini boss battles in the game. The way you beat them is very intuitive and challenging enough for a child mind like myself to keep you engaged in the level. At this point in the game, I do want to mention, though I said it was a good thing earlier, I do kind of miss going in and out of levels and having a space you could run around and you had the difference between missions and open world. This game seems to be so big, there is loads to do, and I'm still getting a little bit overwhelmed by it. You could say that this is a good thing because it means the gameplay hours are so long, so you'd be entertained and it would be worth the money if you buy the game and didn't access it through Game Pass like me. Hashtag get me sponsored. I didn't think this game could add more to it, but I keep getting surprised. There are levels where you need to add a certain level of stealth to. This makes sense though, as there are parts in the films where the characters needed to sneak about. Finally, I eventually got to space travel. It is, like everything else, a lot more thought out than the rest of the LEGO Star Wars games. You can travel from planet to planet, and there are activities to take part in above the planet in space, which is cool. You can even decide which part of the planet you want to land on if there is more than one location on the planet you're traveling to. There are no heavy loading screens, and what I mean by this is that when you travel to a planet's surface, or even to the space above another planet, you can still move your ship about as if you're the one still flying it, which is a nice little added touch in my opinion. One thing that I do wish that they had done differently about space travel is having to hold the A button down to go forward. This is a little bit irritating because as soon as you let go of it, your ship then basically immediately stops, and it's a little bit irritating, but I guess it's a small price to pay. Now that I've witnessed more of the maps and the open world parts of the game, I want to congratulate the devs on how detailed and pretty they are in general. LEGO games don't have to be detailed, but because of their simplicity they have been able to get away with grand landscapes in an easier way compared to more detailed games. In this installment of the LEGO games, they have taken the opportunity to go above and beyond what they have done in the past. There are more side rooms that you can now go into, and not all little side rooms are the same. There doesn't seem to be any of that copy and paste malarkey that other games do when they don't have time to concentrate on the little details in the smaller parts of the game. I know it's not very hard to do this, I wouldn't know, I'm not a dev, but when you go to a location in the game you instantly know where you are in the films, other than the map telling you where you are I mean. It feels as if you're actually there in the Star Wars universe. I finished the first episode, which was long enough to feel okay about the length, but short enough to make me feel good about the fact that the devs weren't dragging it out unnecessarily. I heard certain things that I feel like I misunderstood, but even when you're doing other Star Wars film episodes, you still have access to the other planets that you have unlocked in the other episodes. I don't know why, but I thought I heard that you couldn't do this, so I'm happy that this isn't the case. Okay, I'm not sure if I have said this, but this game is literally everything I didn't know I wanted as a kid. You can board the big spaceships that you could in the most recent LEGO games, including more varieties of them. This game is literally the perfect LEGO game in my opinion. So far the game is amazing and I have little to nothing bad to say about it. The big spaceships were literally the only thing missing for me until you had to fly to one for one of the missions and you got to go around it in free roam. So this game can literally only go up from me at this point. I should probably stop talking about how in-depth this game is and how much more it's bringing to the table than the other Star Wars LEGO games, but I'm sorry I can't. Another thing that this game does that isn't so unusual to the franchise is unlocking weapons and useful items in certain categories of character. The specific character I'm on about is the Ewoks. They come under the category of scavenger and it allows them to make items that allow you to traverse the world in different and useful ways. I know the other Star Wars games allowed this to a sense, with only small characters being able to go through small doors, and rocket troopers only being able to blow up silver objects. But I just like the fact that you have to craft these items in order to unlock them, and to be able to use them and craft them whenever you want afterwards. Because this review is now coming up to 5 pages long, I'm going to bring it to a close by saying that if you have ever felt cheated out of the past LEGO games, either the more recent ones or the ones you used to play on the PlayStation 2 as a kid, then this is the game for you. This will make you forgive all of the other games in my opinion and brings back so much nostalgia for me. The voice acting is not directly from the films and has been done separately, so it flows a lot better, and the characters in the game are their usual silly selves like they were in the first games, where they couldn't talk so they had to act everything out, but they have gone beyond this and linked it to the voices as well, which makes the silly moments a whole lot better. In other words, go get this game, and if you can't afford it, get Game Pass for £1 or $1 or €1 and play it for the month you have it for. And if you don't finish it in that month, just pay the month by month subscription fee. Trust me, it's worth it. Hey guys, so this is the non-scripted outro bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it, only because I really enjoyed playing the game, to be honest. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. If we haven't said it already, I'm pretty sure we would have at this point, but the way I'm making these videos is a bit all over the place, so I don't know when this video is going to particularly come out, but hey ho. I've invested in a mic if you couldn't tell, so hopefully the videos from my side of things are going to be a lot better, because when I would edit Glenn's videos, his video audio would be a lot clearer than mine, so hopefully we're now on a little bit more equal level and you're enjoying it a little bit more. But yeah, so I won't keep you any longer. Here are the videos that we've done in the past. Hopefully you've already seen them, but if not, then go check them out. They're really, really good and we're getting good responses from you guys. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.